Howdy, my name is Natalia Cashin, and I'm one of the admissions advisors here at Texas A&M School of Law. And today I have with me Allie Lizano. She's a third-year law student getting ready to graduate this May. And Allie actually came to us from California, so I'm going to have her talk a little bit about her decision to move states to come to law school, and then what she's gone through in terms of figuring out what she wants to do post-grad in terms of her practice area. She ended up wanting to go back to California, so she'll tell us a little bit about what that looks like and taking the California bar. And we'll just kind of walk through her entire experience here. She's been involved in a lot of things, so we'll get a lot of good information from her. So Allie, why don't we start by you telling us what you were thinking when you were applying to law schools and why you decided to choose A&M?
Yeah, so I applied to law schools all over the country when I was going through the application process. I really just wanted to have as many options as I could to choose from and see what was the best fit for me. So after I got all of my acceptances, I went and visited the schools that I got into. And even though Texas A&M was not the prettiest building and not, the school that gave me the most money or that was the highest ranked, it ended up being the perfect fit for me because I was able to do what I wanted to accomplish here, which was just really be involved in leadership opportunities and have that opportunity to grow the school's legacy. So that's kind of how I decided to come here.
And how exciting is it that given where we were at in your first year and then where we are now in terms of ranking and our programming, that you got to invest in something that has just been skyrocketing each year? That must be really fun for you as you look towards graduation.
Oh yeah, it's absolutely amazing to see how the school has grown, not only in numbers, but in the people that are on campus. And I think it's just been amazing to be a part of that.
So when you were mentioning that you chose us, do you want to talk a little bit about maybe the programming or the leadership positions that you've been involved in that you felt like, or what helped you secure your postgraduate job? Okay.
Okay, so I knew that I wanted to be involved in environmental law because of what I studied undergraduate. So I have a Bachelor of Science in Environmental Policy Analysis and Planning from UC Davis. And so I knew that I wanted to do something environmental. So I was looking for schools where there was a strong environmental or natural resources program already in place. Specifically, when I was looking through the course catalog as an admitted student, I saw the environmental litigation drafting course, which is just such a niche, interesting course. And that was one of the things that convinced me that this school had a natural resources program that was strong enough to kind of provide those niche education experiences. And so that's what made me feel really confident in picking here and coming into this program. And since then, I've been as involved as possible in trying to spread awareness of all things environmental and agricultural.
And so we have some concentrations that we offer at the law school. Are you going to be graduating with any of those concentrations?
Yes, I'm going to be graduating with 2 concentrations, the environmental law and water law concentrations.
Okay, and you mentioned you're part of some leadership organizations. So can you tell me a little bit about the Ag Law organization that you were part of? Because it's a new organization that we didn't have at the law school before.
Yeah, so actually in my 1L year, I helped co-found the Agriculture Law Society, which was a really cool experience getting to build something from the ground up in terms of student organizations. So I worked with students who were older than me. We were all put in contact by a common professor because we shared this interest. And so we ended up building a student organization that unintentionally has become really pro bono and public interest focused, which has been a really cool opportunity.
So, concentrations, student organizations, internships, can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, so after my 1L summer, I was a law clerk at the Department of Justice in the Environment and Natural Resource Division. I was in a small field office in Sacramento, which was perfect for me because, as you mentioned, I knew I wanted to come back to California. So I was looking to kind of put down some roots in that area and get some experiences there. And it was a phenomenal opportunity working for them. And then when I came back to law school after my 1L summer in my 2L year, I was a research fellow for the National Agriculture Law Center, which was another amazing experience, really getting some good research experience in. And then after my second year, I went to a law firm and I was a summer associate at a law firm in Sacramento.
Right. So I think, one of the best ways to be able to find the thing that you are going to love post-graduation is to be able to really get involved in as many areas and experiences as you can. And it sounds like you did a great job of getting all of your concentrations put together and your internships and your, networking opportunities and researching. So where does that leave you at graduation? What exciting opportunity did you receive as part of your offer?
Yeah, so I got an offer from the firm that I worked at my 2L summer to return as an associate attorney pending my California bar results. So I'm really excited to have the opportunity to go back home, be close to my family again, and work in an area that I'm so interested in. I was really lucky that I'm going to be able to have the opportunity to work in natural resources law.
And, I think one of the things that students don't realize, they always ask, like, why are programs ranked a certain way, or why are certain practice areas so highly valued at different schools? And I think a lot of that has to do, obviously, with whatever classes we offer, but the faculty that are involved in those programs. So were you able to build any kind of relationships or mentorship relationships with any of our faculty members within your concentrations?
Yeah, so the cool thing about concentrations is that you start to kind of see repeat professors, right? You're in their class again and again, different classes, but the same professor. And so you get to know them really well. So for example, Professor Eckstein has been a wonderful mentor throughout the process of law school. And I'm actually a research assistant for him now, working on a really cool project. And so once you build those relationships with faculty members, you get opportunities that you may not have otherwise had. For example, like I would have never known that he was looking for a research assistant if I wasn't, consistently in his classes. Another relationship that I really love is my relationship with Professor Casado Perez. She was my faculty advisor for my journal article. So I worked with her for a full year developing that article. And so I know that I can count on these faculty resources even after I graduate, which has been part of being in those classes in the concentration program.
And something that I just realized that we haven't touched on yet, but you being part of the executive board of the Journal of Property Law, a lot of law schools have law review editions and different programs. We have two. We have law review and the Journal of Property Law, and the Journal of Property Law has had a really wonderful kind of history with different types of natural resources symposia. So have you been able to mash your goals of natural resources and then your position in the Journal of Property Law to kind of hinge on both of those topics?
Yeah, so Journal of Property Law is cool because property is a significantly narrowed interest in terms of, the law review can publish on any topics, and we really narrow our focus to property. That being said, property can be so many things, right? It can be real property like land, or personal property like chattels, and intellectual property. So IP, all of the things that come with that. Specifically, I loved our rural development seminar, symposia, excuse me. We call them symposia, but they're seminars where we bring professionals who are experts in the law to come in and talk to our students and to other professionals in the field. And so our rural development symposia was great because I got to hear a lot about land use, which is something that I'm interested in. And so it did kind of overlap with my interests that way. But in no means did it narrow. Like I've learned so much through all of our different topics. And so that's been a cool experience as well.
Great. So now that you're almost done and getting ready to graduate, I still remember you coming in your very first year with your everything organized and ready to go, and you had a plan that you were going to follow, and by golly, did you follow it? What would you say for, admitted students that are just about to embark on making their law school choice and trying to figure out what practice areas they're interested in? Any advice now looking back that you think that you could provide for them?
Yeah, I think I stalled for a little while because even though I had a background in environmental science and policy, and I had a pretty good feeling that that's where I wanted to end up, I was scared because people always tell you, oh, you'll change your mind a million times in law school. And I didn't. And so I felt a little weird about that because I felt like I should be changing my mind. So I would say don't be afraid if you have a specific area of interest and you know that that's what you want to do. Don't be afraid of that. Look for opportunities in law school that can help you further your marketability in that area. There's no need to, of course, have multiple interests, but there's no need to shy away from being committed to something early on.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for sharing your advice. I know a lot of our students that are admitted are interested in natural resources and maybe coming from out of state and are wondering what that might look like for them. So for any of you that have those questions, please reach out to us and send us an email. We have a lot of students like Allie who are willing and able to talk to you about their experiences and answer any questions that you might have. And you, Allie, thanks again. I know you're busy and a lot going on, so thanks for taking time out to answer all of these questions and tell everybody about your wonderful story.
Thanks for having me.
No problem. Have a wonderful day.
Thanks, you too.